Hey, it's Styles from Brand Content Studios. Here's your Content Marketing Quickie for the week of August 13th, 2019. Just like some people check the temperature every day, many of us like to keep tabs on what kind of media format the public likes to get. See, there's a weather channel, but there is no favorite current media channel. So thank goodness for Blue Fountain Media, who did a study to help keep us aware. Here's what they discovered delivers the best results for marketers when it comes to what comes rolling off the line at the old content factory. It won't shock you. It's promo videos and captioned pictures. But the next one in line might surprise you a little bit. It's podcasts. Nina Agajanian writes that email is still a really strong thing, but Blue Fountain found more and more people are leaning away from blog posts and email marketing that involves a lot of reading for videos and picture-based stuff. I'm wasting my breath. You're still going to make white papers and ebooks, aren't you? Well, what about actually getting people to buy stuff? I mean, consuming your content is nice, but what actually helps sell product? Again, videos and pictures. And not even by a little. 75% ranked those highest in effectiveness. Oh, you want me to get even more specific? Hey, it's not my study, but I'll go deeper if you want. The most useful content for showing new products and services is YouTube, followed by Instagram. YouTube also wins when you ask people which platform gives them the most useful content about digital trends, tech, or general info. That's info about almost anything, not info about famous generals in history, although I'm sure that's well covered on YouTube as well. Blue Fountain's Elizabeth Minton sums it up. Good content must engage consumer interest, whether that's through factual information, compelling visuals, good storytelling, or humor. Content needs to be valuable and believable to the consumer, so they associate the information and messaging with your brand. Now, to get deals, consumers like getting notifications from brands on their phones. But 68% still sign up for newsletters for the purpose of finding out about deals. But don't think you're going to make them happy, because the public is unpleasable. 65% subscribe to 1 to 9 newsletters, but over half don't like getting info from the brands that they subscribed to. Don't you dare give me what I asked for. As for their biggest gripe about what you're putting out in front of them, 58% said content marketing is too commercial. 48% said it's too long, boring, and basic. And 58% feel hounded by ads and content. Apparently, you ain't nothing but a hound dog. Okay, fess up. Is your marketing agency loading up on every full-timer they can get their hands on? Or do they farm out some of the work? What about farm work? Do they at least farm that out? Jessica McMohan talks about that in Social Media Explorer, and she says most marketing agencies try to keep as much as they can in-house. Well, I mean, we know what's good about that. Agencies have tighter control over how the work is done. They can look over workers' shoulders. They can demand hourly updates. They can scowl if a worker goes to lunch. They can feel all powerful as they exude stress and fear from their corner office. But are the benefits of outsourcing getting overlooked? And is the client work actually suffering from gig economy rejection? The notion is that individual freelancers or shops with very few people can help everyone breathe easier. First, agencies lose nothing because the client only sees the work as coming from the agency. The agency can white label everything that's done. Second, you're getting the best work from the best talent in specialized areas, instead of having a team of generalists muddling through the best they can and learning as fast as they can. Having specialists at hand, frankly, gives you a lot more services that you can confidently sell. instead of landing that SOW and then wondering if your shop can actually deliver what you just sold. Third, you not only get the cool freelancers, you get the other awesome talent those freelancers know. We talk to each other, you know. If a bigger team or other specialists are needed, you can spend 2 months finding and hiring people, or you can activate rock stars. Fourth, if you're super awesome at selling, you don't have to worry about overflow and drowning in your success. You won't have to turn down a client you know you can't handle, although I know most of you would never do that. Fifth, you'll save money. Oh, that. Full-timers cost money all the time. Outsources charge you for what they did, and they don't need Pop-Tarts and coffee in a break room or team outings. Overall, the real task is finding a stable of outsourced partners you can totally trust. Jessica says once you do that, their ROI is pretty large, clear, and long-lasting. Retailers seem to know better than other industries that they need to either improve their marketing strategies or risk falling behind their competition. A study by Yext and Vance & Bourne says 57% of retail marketers strongly agree with that. Only 41% in other industries like financial services, healthcare, and hospitality are prepared to make that admission. Yext Zahid Zakaria says it's retailers who believe improvements will directly impact revenue, but 96% of them think their marketing team is having significant challenges. What's the problem? 28% say they don't have enough access to consumer engagement data from off-website sources like Yelp, Google, voice assistants. 28% say they don't have enough visibility into how they're doing against the competition. And 27% think they lack visibility on search engines. The answer's quite obvious to me. Dress a teenager in a chicken outfit and make them wave a sign out by the street. Lastly, and quickly, talking about podcasts earlier reminded me there was some big news this week about that. Google added a podcast feature to search. Put in something like fashion made from cured meats podcasts, and whammo, you get playable podcast episodes about that showing up in your results page. Georgina Torbett reports Google even has it in their circuit chip-addled minds to eventually show podcast results even if you don't put podcast in your search. There's more. Before 2019 is out, Google Assistant will be suggesting podcasts, and Google Podcasts for Web will let you play podcasts through your browser. Okay, so you'd think podcast producers would be mega stoked about this, right? Well, not necessarily. But first, a message about MailChimp. I'm kidding. I still have no ads in this thing. The BBC pulled its podcast from Google's podcast app because traffic was being taken away from their app and they were losing that user data. Well, Google's working on some way to make everyone happy. But one more podcast news nugget. A Westwood One survey just showed that podcast ads are less likely to be skipped than other ad formats. Only 20% skip, block, or quit listening, which is great compared to those that do that stuff for online pop-ups, email, and TV. Westwood One also found podcast listeners think 4 ads per 60-minute podcast is fine. In fact, 53% say they actually liked most of the ads on their favorite podcasts. Is that why you aren't sharing mine? Because there are no ads in it? That's the Content Marketing Quickie for this week. Gotta ask you to subscribe. I mean, really, would it be the least worthy podcast you've got pouring into your app? We'll be back at it next week. The news never stops.